Welcome back to the Hook Book Barrel. Today we are talking about animals that help each other. We're gonna draw a bee and we're gonna get hooked on a great book. Come on down.
The Hook Book Barrel.
Welcome back to the Hook Book Barrel. My name is Jay and it's so good to see you again. Today we're gonna learn about something really cool. But first I'll ask you a question. Have you ever shared something with a friend? Or maybe a friend shared something with you? Or maybe you helped a friend do something? Or maybe a friend helped you? So sometimes animals do the exact same thing, but they do it for their whole lives, yeah. So this is a really cool thing called a symbiotic relationship. And we're gonna talk about that today, so come on. Now, symbiotic relationships are kind of big words, but really, symbiotic means living together. Yeah, when animals can live together and then they can help each other to live and thrive. And a relationship means that they're friends, just like how you have relationships with your friends. So what's different about animals than humans? All right, let's talk about one really cool example, and this would be with a clownfish. And you might know a clownfish from a certain kind of movie, maybe. And this is a sea anemone. Now, an anemone looks like a pretty cool underwater plant, but it's actually an animal with tentacles and it can sting. But here's the really cool part. A clownfish can swim right into those tentacles and not get stung. The anemone protects the clownfish from bigger fish that want to eat it. And that's so cool. And so the anemone helps the clownfish stay safe from other predators. That's so great. But what does the clownfish do for the anemone? That's a great question, and I'm glad you asked. The clownfish keeps the anemone clean by eating tiny bits of food and algae. Plus, the clownfish brings back more food, and it helps feed the anemone too. That was a great example that we could see in the ocean of a symbiotic relationship. So two animal species that help each other every day. So let's fly over to Africa and check out another great example. Come on. Have you ever seen a zebra or a rhinoceros? Yeah, these big animals have a special friend called an oxpecker bird. Yeah. So let's find out a little bit more about what makes this bird so special and so helpful. The oxpecker bird lands right on a zebra's back and it eats the ticks, which are little bugs that bother the zebra. The zebra gets cleaned up and feels much better, and the birds get a yummy meal. Scientists have discovered that these birds can eat hundreds of ticks in just a single day. That's so much cleaning, and it's so helpful. What a great example of a symbiotic relationship. Now, we checked out some in the ocean, we checked out some in Africa. What about in our backyards? Yeah. So you might be thinking, well, what about bumblebees? Well, if you were thinking that, then good for you, because we are thinking the same thing. Bumblebees have a great symbiotic relationship with flowers. You're like, what? That doesn't count, but it does. So when a bee lands on a flower, it gets stuck and covered with all this fuzzy stuff called pollen. And pollen needs to get from one flower to another. And when a bee lands on a flower, it'll take the pollen that sticks to his body, bring it to another flower, and that'll help other flowers grow seeds and grow new flowers. Oh, and speaking of bees and flowers, I think it's time to draw. Come on down. All right, so today we're gonna try to draw a bee. So what are we gonna need? We're gonna need a pencil. We're gonna need a couple of crayons and a piece of paper. So as always, let's start with our pencil so we can draw our outline. And if we make mistakes or we wanna change something, we can just erase it. All right, so for this bee, we're gonna try something kind of easy or easier. We're gonna draw a circle. Yeah, that looks like a bee body. If you wanted to, it doesn't matter. We need a stinger. So maybe just like a pointy piece right at here. And then we need some wings. So maybe we'll just do a big loop on top, like an upside down U. And maybe we'll do another one. There, it has two wings. We want to add some feet. So maybe I'll just do a line down here and like that, and I'll bend it. And maybe I'll do another one here. And then we'll do one over here because we'll say that it's behind the bee. Then we need to make a face. So we'll do a kind of a curvy line for a smile. Whoop. And a little dot for his eye. And then what do bees have that other animals don't really have? I wonder. Stripes! Yeah! So let's add some stripes. And I'm just drawing this bee the way that I think I'd like to draw this bee. And you could draw your bee the way you want to draw your bee. We're just going to do this one together. So I'm going to take my black crayon and I'm going to do the outline of the bee. So I'm going to trace the outside because I like how this bee is shaping up to look. So I'm going to trace the outside. Ooh, big pointy stinger. Look at that. We got a leg. And we got another leg. And another leg. And we'll go all the way up. Oh, it looks great. We'll do the lines for the stripes. And maybe we'll close off these wings here. Oh, look at that. Oh, we gotta do the big eye. Ah, and a big smile. Eeh, look at that guy. All right, now we get to color it. Look how easy that was. And you can do more stripes if you want. You can make it an oval so it's longer. You can do anything you'd like because drawing is what you want it to be. That's what we call art. It's something from you. Maybe I'll just draw little lines here for the wings. And maybe I'll draw another leg over here because maybe he has 4 legs. And now I can color it in with this cool yellow color. So maybe I'll go like this. Look at that. It's starting to look like a real bee. And it doesn't need to be perfect. It never needs to be perfect. It just needs to be from you. And you know what? I'm actually going to color this one really dark so it could be like a yellow stripes and black stripes. It'd be stripes together. Look at this. And maybe his stinger is kind of black too, like a stripe. And if you want to color its wings, you can color its wings. And this is my bumblebee. I can't wait to see what you draw. Well, that was fun. And don't forget, you can practice this too. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be from you. Great timing. Let's get hooked on a book. All right, Hookbook Barrel, what do we got today? Whoa, look at this. This book is called Mary and Lily. And this was written by Lisa Cortez, illustrated by Laura Watson. Let's check it out. The Adventures of Mary and Lily. Mary and Lily loved to have fun together. They spent hours and hours talking and laughing, talking and laughing, and talking and laughing some more. Mary could make Lily laugh harder than anyone else in the whole wide world. Mary and Lily loved going out to eat together. They loved going out for pizza and for frozen yogurt. Mary and Lily's favorite video game to play was called Miss Pac-Man. They loved going to Mary's house and playing with her 2 kitty cats, Princess and Peppy. Mary also had 2 small lizards named Olivia Newt and John. On days it would snow, Mary and Lily would go running in the snow. On days when it was warm, Mary and Lily loved to go swimming in the lake. Mary and Lily loved watching movies together. They watched funny movies, scary movies, and serious movies. Mary and Lily loved to go running together. Their favorite place to go running was called Larson Lake. There were lots of ducks there. Quack, 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 quack. Mary and Lily were in classes together at school. They went to dances together. They took trips together. Mary even had a cabin in the mountains where they could go skiing. After a long day of adventures, Mary and Lily would be very tired. They would get ready for bed, and then they would stay up late talking and laughing talking and laughing, and talking and laughing some more. And this is a message from the author. Mary and Lily want you to know that you are loved. You are loved no matter what, and you are loved every hour, every minute, and every second of every day. You are loved for the beautiful person you are inside. You are loved because you are you. What a wonderful and warm book. Oh, what was your favorite part about this? Oh, that was a great part. I like the part where they got frozen yogurt because frozen yogurt is really yummy. So we're going to put this on the hookbook stand. Perfect. Well, that's it for today. I hope you had a great time, and I hope we got to learn some cool stuff. We got to draw and read a great book. And if you like that book, don't forget to check it out at your local library. Well, until next time, I hope you have a great day, and please don't ever forget that we are so proud of you. You're doing great. You're doing great. And we can't wait to see what you bring into this world. But as always, you have to dream this big. This big. You have to dream bigger than big. But you have to work hard and hard. And I will see you next time. Whoa! Oh! Hey! This is kind of a cool puzzle. Yeah, it's called a Rubik's Cube. Did you see this in the episode somewhere? Might have been hidden somewhere. Catch you later.